Sadnam Namaste. So one of the sutras for the Aquarian age I want to talk about in this video. So the most famous sutras come from Patanjali, the father of yoga. So a sutra is a knot, and it's, if you do any cooking, it's about boiling down, condensing something to its essence. Okay? So the purpose of this was so the student could remember, right? Because they were simple phrases, and also to protect the teachings. And then if you were blessed to have a spiritual teacher, the spiritual teacher could take that sutra and elaborate it for you. So the sutra I want to talk about today is recognize the other person as you. You'll notice 6 words. Recognize the other person is you. 6 words. And so when you think of this, you think, oh, that's nice, it's about imagining what it would be to be in somebody else's shoes. Oh, I imagine what it might be like to have a death of a loved one, or to lose my home, or to lose my job. That other person is you. And the mind and the ego are like, that makes no sense. We have different bodies. We have different names. We maybe have different skin color, right? We're different people. And this is the illusion perpetrated by the ego, right? This diversity. And so now we're moving from separation. The last 2,000 years of the Piscean age has been about the ego and how far we can move from our source. And now the Aquarian age is calling us back home. So we're coming more and more into unity consciousness. So this is the truth of who we are. So it's like the sun. The sun is one huge entity, but it has trillions and trillions of rays that come from the sun, but it's coming from the same source. So we too are coming from the same source. Every human being on this planet comes from the same source. So recognize the other person as you is the recognition of that the one source lives in each person. No matter how hideous that person is, they also come from the same light. So this is the lesson that we're in right now. And so it's easy to use this teaching with people that you like. It's easy to say, oh yeah, the Dalai Lama, recognize the other person as you. I see that. Yeah, I'm like the Dalai Lama, right? Who doesn't like the Dalai Lama? But it's absolute. It means every human being on the planet. So it's not about recognize the other person as you. These people over here, but not that person over there. I'm nothing like that person. So let's use an example. And who's on the world stage right now is Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Okay, so recognize the other person as you is also to recognize that though they too are you. And, there's places in the world that still have public stonings. This was a tradition. We don't do that in the West. We're above that. We're civilized now. And this is where the community would grab a person that they saw has made a huge sin, or that they were evil, or they caused suffering and pain to the community. They would drag them in the center, right? And each person would grab a stone and throw stones at them, like to punish them so that they would learn. So we too have our modern version of public stonings, and it's on Facebook. Just go to your news feed. Everybody's got their rock, right, with their comment, throwing their rock at Hillary Clinton, throwing their rock at Donald Trump. So this is harmful, right? This is very harmful to the self, because recognize the other person as you. Wait a minute, if that person is me, then when I'm throwing a rock in the form of judgment, then where's it going? It's coming back at me. It's a boomerang effect. So you need to look at it as a mirror, right? They're just playing their role in the collective consciousness, right? The collective human consciousness. That's all they're doing. But behind that role is their great spirit, right? The great self that each one of us has. So, okay, so they're the mirror. And what happens when you punch a mirror? Does the reflection say, ow, ow, that hurt. Oh, okay, I was wrong. I won't do that again. The reflection stays as it is. But the person punching with the bloody knuckles and the bloody hands, they're the ones that is harmed, right? So this is what happens to you when you're throwing this judgment around. And I'm speaking to you because not everyone is going to receive this message. Like literally will not receive this message, because this message is a frequency. So if you're not aligned with this frequency, it won't even get to you, right? This YouTube message will not get to you. But it's getting to you and you're watching. So I want you to take this in. Okay, so, okay, it's a stretch. Like, right, think of the things that are coming out when you think of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. He's a narcissist. He's a pathological liar. He's a buffoon. She's manipulative, right? She's a crook. She's this, she's that. She can't be trusted. Okay, so take it back into yourself. And you may think, well, I'm none of those things. None of those things. This person is horrible and I'm not, right? This separation. So bring it back. Okay, she's manipulative. She's a liar. Have you ever not lied in your lifetime? Have you never been manipulative in your lifetime? Say in a job interview where you stretched the truth a little bit because you wanted to get the job. You went on a date with somebody and you told them a half-truth about yourself because you wanted to come across as, you know, being a good person. So you take this in. Okay, I can relate to this. This is a part of me that I don't want to face, that I don't want to see in truth. And the Aquarian age is all about the truth coming to the surface. So you need to get true and real 100% about yourself first. And the same with Donald Trump. He's arrogant. He's narcissist. He's a narcissist. Have you ever looked in the mirror, right, at yourself and admired yourself in an arrogant, you know, vain kind of way? We've all done it. We've all done these things. But these people are just magnified so that we can see it. So your job and your lesson on this planet to realize yourself. And you're not going to realize yourself if you're throwing stones, right, at other people. You're not going to realize the self, because every time you throw that rock at somebody, it's coming back at you, and it's just reaffirming that part of you that you dislike in yourself. So when you're able to look through not these two physical eyes, but your third eye, then you're able to see the truth through the illusion, through the veil of Maya. Oh, that this person is of light. And that my job is to see that light. And when I see that light in another person, then I'm reaffirming my own light within me. So just because everybody else has the rocks out and throwing them doesn't mean that you have to. Okay. You know, we live in many dimensions here on the earth, and this third dimension is like a little tiny tip of the iceberg of what's really going on, right? So don't buy into the illusion. Don't get pulled into the fear, the frequency of fear. You know, and we're giving birth. We're giving birth to the Aquarian age. There's the holding muscles, and then there's the pushing muscles, right? That's the contractions. And the holding muscles are like the status quo. It's not going to let go until it trusts, right? But the pushing muscles, it's their job, the progressive, right, progression, and this Aquarian age trying to come through, trying to be birthed. The Aquarian age has to come through. So take it back to the self. Take it back inside. Where am I holding? What am I clinging on to? That's some old belief that I have about myself and my life. The status quo, my conditioned mind. What do I need to let go of so that this new consciousness can move through me? Everything that you're doing and motivated to do, it's up for question. You need to bring everything into the light and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? You need to look at every person in your life that's poking you, that you're avoiding, that brings up so much negativity and judgment. They're just a mirror. There's nothing wrong with that person. That person is perfect. Donald Trump is perfect. Hillary Clinton is perfect. They're all perfect in the roles that they're playing. Your job is to bring it back to the self. Back to the self. Back to the self. And my parting words for you is I want you to know in the depth of your soul, in the depth of your heart, that everything is fine. Everything that you see in the world is fine. It's all going as planned. Intelligence that's at work that we don't see, that's guiding us into our next evolution. So you running around and freaking out and listening to your ego and in fear and trying to blame everybody is not going to help. Even global warming is forcing migration. There's going to be places on the planet that are not going to be livable for humans. This is just the start of global warming. And what's the greater purpose? It's bringing us together as one, right? Everything is about bringing humanity together as one, and to stop worshiping the dollar and worshiping power over others and feeding this inequality of others, inequality between the races, right, the sexes, inequality between religions and different cultures. It's all about equality. It's this recognition that we're all equal and we're all in the same boat. So focus on the similarities between us, not the differences. And there's so much similarities with humans. And so just trust, okay? Your job in this lifetime is to realize yourself, to really know who you are at your essence, which is a spiritual being having these human experiences and growing and evolving. So the best way to deal with people that you don't like is to not resist it. And if you're really struggling with, okay, this person really gets on my nerves and they bring out so much negativity in me, is to bless them. Just extend a blessing, okay, instead of a judgment. Bless instead of judge. Okay. Thank you. And please share this video with other people. And keep those enemies close to you because they're helping you. They're helping you realize yourself. They're part of the mirror, okay? The part of the reflection. Okay, Sadnam.